Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I hope you're all doing amazingly well today. In today's video, I am going to be doing an eyeshadow tutorial on the eyeshadow that I'm wearing right now. I will also be doing a review and swatching the new Kat Von D eyeshadow palette. This one is called Fetish, and yeah, I will also include a kind of speed through version of the rest of the makeup if the video doesn't end up being too long while I'm editing. And if the video ends up being too long and I'm not able to include the rest of the makeup, I will include everything that I'm wearing on my face in the description box below. But if you have any questions concerning, anything that maybe I didn't include in the description box below, just let me know in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you a picture that Lexi showed me earlier that inspired me for today's look. So I really love what it says. It says, "You are not a waste of space." And as you guys can see, it's a picture of space. It has the little planets, the sun, stars. So even though that picture doesn't have too many crazy colors in there, it really inspired me to use the yellow and the black from the palette. And because I also have these little stars that I've actually never used before, I thought it would be really fun to try to incorporate these into today's look. So that's what we're going to be doing today. For my eyeshadow base, I'm going to come in with the NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Chantilly. So I'm just taking the concealer and I'm putting it on this kind of concealer brush. You can use a flat brush as well. And I'm just going to apply this all over the lid, all the way up to the eyebrow. And I am going to run this under the lash line as well. So whatever shadows we do apply get really nice and pigmented. And remember, as soon as you have your base down, go ahead and set it with a translucent powder. Now that we are all primed and ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and use the first color from the palette, and I'm going to be coming in with the yellow right here called Sex. So to apply this color, I'm going to be using my Sigma E35. So I am going to start taking this yellow and I'm just going to use this as our transition color. And remember, because this is a halo eyeshadow look, we want to bring this down to the inner corner as well as the outer corner. So far the blending of the eyeshadow feels quite nice. I'm not having any hard time like blending it. I'm not getting any patchiness at all, and the color is definitely buildable. It's not like pigment right away, but if you build it up 2 or 3 more times, it definitely gives you a lot of pigment. And I haven't had to go into the pan like 10 times to get this much pigment. So far I'm happy with the pigment and the blendability of the eyeshadows. So the next color that I'm going to be applying is going to be this one right here called Kink. So for this purple shade, I'm gonna do the packing technique instead of blending it in, just because I feel like that's going to give us more pigment. So I'm going to come in with this little tiny brush from Sephora. This is just a little bullet pencil brush. And if you guys hear any noise or anything like that, that's Lexi playing Fortnite, so I am very sorry. It shouldn't be too loud, but just in case, that's what you are hearing in the background. So I'm going to take the other brush and I'm just going to start blending this into the transition color. Uh-oh, it's disappearing. Oh no. Okay, so I'm sure you guys just saw that, but the eyeshadow basically just disappeared. Let's try to deposit color again. So I'm just taking this color and again, I'm just trying to pack it on. And I'm following the shape of my crease, so I'm going in a round halo shape. And I'm going to be grabbing my Sigma E25 brush to try to blend the edges out. And I'm hoping that I don't lose pigment again. I'm switching back and forth to the Sigma E25 to blend out the edges. Alright, so in the corner, no matter how many times I put the color down, it just keeps disappearing. So what I'm gonna try to do is come in with a darker purple, which is Corset, this one right here. I'm grabbing that color on a Morphe JH33, which is just the same as a Sigma E25, and I'm just gonna try and see if this will stay in the outer corner. So I'm gonna try to pack it just because I'm trying to cover up that patch. This one seems to be staying a little bit better. I'm gonna come in with the pencil brush again, and I'm just gonna try to pack on the color to fix that patch right at the outer corner. Okay, so I packed on the color Corset above the other one, and I'm gonna try to blend out the edges and hope that this one doesn't disappear like the other one. So as you guys can see, that patch is just not going away. This is looking like a hot mess right now. I honestly don't even know what to do to try to save it because I've applied so many eyeshadows that the only option that I have right now is to go in with black. So I'm just grabbing the black and essentially putting it in the outer corner, inner corner. I'm bringing it in a little bit into the middle just so that we can kind of get rid of all the patchiness from the purple, and basically we're hoping for the best. So I'm just packing the black. I'm using that Makeup Geek pencil brush, and I'm just trying to go over everything and hope that this kind of covers all of the patchiness from the other shadows. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting out the halo. I'm gonna be using a flat concealer brush. So what I like to do is that I open my eyes and I kind of see, as you guys can see, I have hooded eyes, so I like to see where that ends, and then I usually go right above that. Okay, so now I kind of have like a rough draft. I don't really worry about this part too much. I just kind of make little points so that I know how to draw it out when I come in with more concealer a little bit later on. So with a little Q-tip and makeup remover, I'm going to go ahead and take off all of the excess eyeshadow that we have. That way when we come in with our lid colors, we have a nice clean base. And that way none of the colors that we're going to put on the lid mix with any of these colors. I'm going to take this other concealer brush. I like this one a little bit better because the bristles are a little bit longer and it gives me a little bit more control. And I'm just going to fill all of this in and redraw the line. I'm going to come in with a little bit of the translucent setting powder, and I'm going to go ahead and set that. Next, I'm going to apply the color Rubber, and I'm just applying this to the outer corner. And I'm going to apply the black to the inner corner. And next I'm going to be coming in with the green shade right here. And I'm going to overlap it with the black. I'm going to go ahead and come in with the shade Submissive. And I'm going to apply that right to the center. It looks like this shade, it's more of a glitter. I'm going to try to go in back with the yellow shade right here. And I'm trying to overlap it to the green so that we get a nice seamless blend. Okay, now I'm going to go in. I'm going to try this one here, Chastity. But my guess is that it's going to do the same thing as the other shade because they feel like they're the same texture. I try to apply a little bit of Fix Plus. So I usually don't wet my brushes, but I think I need to for this. So let's see. Oh my gosh, it just basically took off the color. Okay, I'm gonna apply the yellow again. I have to grab a different brush because that one's wet now. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is grab a little bit more of the green on this tiny brush and just kind of blend it in. And to try to make a little bit more sense of the middle, I'm gonna apply this glitter from Too Faced. What I'm going to do now is grab the black shade again, the shade Rubber, and I'm just gonna try to define the edge right up here. Okay, now I'm gonna take this little tiny blending brush from Sigma. This is the E36, and I'm just gonna blend this color. So even though I'm not happy with this, I'm gonna just continue. I'm just gonna continue. So for mascara, I'm gonna come in with the Milk Makeup Mascara. This is the Kush Mascara, and I'm just going to apply that to my lashes up this way. So for lashes, I am going to be applying these guys right here. These are from Lashylicious, and these are in the style Lustylicious, and that is what they look like. Alright, so this is what we have so far. I am going to go ahead and go off camera, and I'm gonna finish this eye. As you guys can see, I didn't even continue doing it because I was so shooketh as what was happening to this eye that I just didn't even remember to come back to this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera, finish this one, and then I will be right back to finish the rest of the eyeshadow look. So while I went to go off camera, I didn't turn the camera off, and I decided to add a little bit of a yellow liner. So that's what you're seeing right now, but I used the Kylie Jenner gel eyeliner, this little paint pot in yellow. So to add the stars, I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of lash glue. So I'm just adding little dots to where I want the stars to go. And now I'm taking a smaller silver star, and I'm adding it to that second dot. And for that last dot, I'm also going to add a gold star. What I'm going to do now is add this color of the Too Faced Glitter Pop, and I'm going to put this one right over top of the yellow liner. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and finish off this eye, and I will be right back to finish off the rest. Alright you guys, I am back. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the lower lash line. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try to come in with the purple, which is the one that I've been wanting to use the whole time. And I'm gonna take a small flat brush like this one, and we're just going to stamp that on the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to take the shade Cuffs, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the remaining area. Now I'm going to grab this pencil from Marc Jacobs, and I'm applying that to the waterline. And now I'm going to grab the Milk Makeup Mascara, and I'm applying this to the lower lashes. What I'm gonna do now is do the rest of my makeup. If, like usual, if the video is not too long, I will go ahead and insert a kind of speed through of the rest of my makeup here, and if not, then I will be leaving you with the swatches of the palette, and then I will be right back to chat about the palette and give you my opinions and review. So yeah, I'll be back. Alright, so this is the finished look. I am gonna go ahead and show you guys the swatches, and I will be right back to chat about the palette. Alright, you guys, so you just finished watching the swatches and all of that good stuff, and what we're gonna do now is basically just talk about the palette. I will give you a quick review on the palette itself. This is what the palette looks like right here. I think the palette itself is a super cool concept. This feels almost like leather, but I know it's not leather, it's like a plastic. And it does have the word fetish kind of embossed in cloth, or not cloth, like a like thread. So it feels really cool. It's a pretty big palette. Actually, if we compare these two, they're actually about the same size. This is the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette, so next to each other they are pretty much the same length. Going back to the way that the palette looks like, I think it's really cool. It has like this red all around the palette, and then in red, kind of like a metallic red, it has all of the shade names in the back. And then when you open it up, you do get a very nice sized mirror, and you get like a little design in the mirror as well. And then here are all of your eyeshadows. You get 25 eyeshadows total, and they are in the like, you know, the same pan that usually Kat Von D has for her palettes, which is like this longer rectangular shape. And as you guys can see, it's a combination of matte and shimmers. The palette itself retails for $63, which it is pretty steep for an eyeshadow palette, but it does retail for $63, and you can purchase it at Sephora.com, Sephora in stores, or on the Kat Von D website. So I'm really sorry, my battery just died and I forgot what I was talking about, but I think I was talking about the box. But yeah, basically it comes in this box, and again, it has all of the ingredients on the back of the box, but not on the back of the palette. So if you are someone that likes to have the ingredients handy at all times, make sure that you don't throw away the box. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of give you my thoughts on this guy right here. This is what my palette looks like after using it, and as you can see, there was kickback. And let me see if I can kind of show you what happens. So let me kind of dip into the blue right here. And you can see that there is kickback. So as you guys can see, the palette itself does have kickback, which usually for me, I don't mind, because that usually means that a palette is really pigmented. And as you can see, just from one dip of the brush, I have a ton of eyeshadow on my brush. If you guys have seen my last video on the 35V palette, you saw that when I dipped into that blue, my brush hardly had any of the eyeshadow pigment on it. So for a palette like the 35V, you definitely have to press your brush in there hard, or even a couple of times, to get the type of pigment that we just got by going in once into the Kat Von D palette. So even though it does have kickback, it is supposed to be a positive, because normally that a palette that has kickback normally gives you more pigment. I can't say if that's true for every single eyeshadow palette or even for this one, but to me, that has been like my experience with palettes that have kickback. Anyway, I got this palette because I was really attracted to the packaging. I thought it was a really cool concept. I really loved this purple right here, you guys, this guy right here. I was so excited to create a look with that purple, and as you guys saw, it did not work out. It was pretty upsetting. When I was swatching the shades themselves, they felt pretty chalky. The only ones that didn't feel chalky to me were the shimmers. And I'm so sorry that I keep looking at myself in the monitor, but this lipstick, this is the reason why I hate wearing dark lipstick, is because you always see like this little area here and it just really bothers me. But anyway, so the other thing with the palette is that there was fallout. I had fallout under my eyes. I had fallout on my nose, the sides of my nose. I had it over here. I basically had fallout everywhere. If you do purchase the palette, definitely expect to have kickback and expect to have fallout and expect to have some eyeshadows that just disappear when you start blending them. So with all of that being said, do I recommend the palette? In my honest and humble opinion, I do not, only because it is a $63 palette, and I get it, the packaging is beautiful and I'm sure that it is expensive packaging, but for $63 I was expecting a lot better. Normally I love Kat Von D eyeshadows and products. I have been using her stuff for a very long time. I think one of my very first YouTube tutorials was actually using a Kat Von D palette. I do understand that the packaging is beautiful, and I understand that I'm sure it took them a lot of time and effort, and the packaging is beautiful, but I just cannot keep a palette because of beautiful packaging. I expect a palette for that price to perform really well, and this palette did not. It definitely let me down. But if you guys do pick it up, definitely let me know down below how it goes for you. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I did something wrong. I don't really know, but yeah. If you guys end up picking it up, let me know how it goes. And if you do pick it up and you have the same issues, don't forget the Sephora does have an amazing return policy, and they are usually really good at issuing a refund or an exchange for what you purchased. So with all of that being said, I am gonna get going because I have been here for about 5 hours trying to make these eyeshadows work, and this is really bothering me. And yeah, I'm gonna get to sleep. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like that for future videos, let me know down below. And actually, I need your help to come up with Halloween ideas. So if you guys have anything in mind that you would like me to do or like see, definitely let me know down below. I would love to hear, you know, your ideas for Halloween, because I am stumped this year. I do have 2 looks that we did last year that I never uploaded, so I will be uploading those. But if you guys have any other ideas, definitely let me know down below. Again, this is my personal experience with the palette, and I am just showing you my experience and what happened when I used the palette, my thoughts, and I'm just hoping that that helps you guys into making your own decisions about the palette. But yeah, I'm gonna get going. Don't forget to follow us all over social media. It is all at GlitterBeauties, especially on Instagram. I do upload a lot of tutorials. I upload a lot of pictures, beauty products, swatches, and things that you won't get to see here on YouTube. And again, that is at GlitterBeauties, the same way that it's spelled here. And don't forget to subscribe with the notification bell on so that you are notified every time that we upload a video. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. It really, or a thumbs down. It really does help us out so much, and we really truly appreciate it. But yeah, I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.